Hello YouTube, so you've probably heard that a little island in the Mediterranean called Cyprus is currently entering a spot of bother. In case you didn't know, Cyprus is part of the EU and the Eurozone, has a complicated relationship with Turkey, and was British between the years of 1878 and 1960. You've heard the story before. The Cypriot banks have gotten into a spot of bother, and it's now down to the government to bail them out and help them, because banks are a pillar of our modern society and are too big to fail. Cyprus for a long time was a mere sideshow to the calamity that is Greece, partly because Cypriot banks hold a lot of Greek debt. But the island state is now making headlines because of a nationwide levy that has been proposed to raise €6 billion in order to secure a loan from the International Monetary Fund and the EU. Cyprus has decided against the more traditional methods of a government raising money through spending cuts and increased taxes by implementing this nationwide levy, which functions very much like a one-off tax that will literally go into the bank accounts of people who have accounts in Cyprus and take money away. If this levy is implemented, accounts with upwards of €100,000 are set to lose 9.9%, whereas those accounts with less money are set to lose 6.75%. So, needless to say, people with bank accounts in Cyprus, they'll not be happy, and there have been protests over the past week, and long lines outside of ATMs, due to the fact that banks are closed until this Tuesday. An interesting consequence of this is the fact that because a lot of rich folk in Russia keep their big bucks in Cyprus for tax reasons, Vladimir Putin has waded in and given his 2 cents on the whole situation, saying, "Such a decision, if it is adopted, will be unfair, unprofessional and dangerous. Now I go and I fight bears." Nice to see Vladimir looking after his oligarchs. Moody's have estimated that about $31 billion from Russian companies and individuals is tied up somewhere in the Cypriot banking system, so you can understand why they're not very happy. There's been significant debate and speculation across mainstream media about the wider effects that this Cypriot crisis may have on the EU and the rest of the world. The Financial Times and the Business Insider have both published articles saying that although of course this is a terrible, terrible time for the Cypriot people, the Cyprus economy is just not big enough for it to really matter for everybody else. Cyprus has a population of about 1 million and only accounts for about 0.2% of Eurozone GDP. This is compared to 3% in the case of Greece and 1.5% in the case of Ireland. So it's difficult to understand how this small Mediterranean island going under is going to grossly affect the overall direction of the Eurozone economy. However, the problem is the possible repercussions of a collapse in Cyprus. If the government cannot raise the money needed to secure the loan from the IMF and the EU, Cyprus will most probably have to go bust, and then maybe have to exit from the euro, making it the first country to have to do so. If this happens, and causes a lack of confidence in Europe as a whole, this could increase the interest rates on national debt, at a time when nations with high debt, including Spain, Italy and the UK, are on shaky ground as it is. This would inevitably affect the EU's 2 largest trading partners, China and the USA, which incidentally are also the world's 2 largest economies. Everybody else gets affected, you see the problem. It's not a very happy state of affairs, and we need to still wait a couple of days before everybody's chips are on the table and we know actually what is going to happen in Cyprus. But in the meantime, what do you guys think? Do you think that Cyprus should be left to fail because of the relatively small amount that it contributes to European GDP? Or should we try and keep it in the Eurozone as much as possible in order to avoid the scenario that I just mentioned? Are you an American who is struggling to understand why this island is getting so much attention? Are you a European who's worried that our future is all going down the toilet? Are you a Cypriot? Are you on the island? How is this affecting you? Or are you a Russian oligarch with an awful lot of money tied up in Cypriot banks? This is a fantastic place to share your opinion and your perspective. Go downstairs into the comments, leave us a comment, debate with somebody, have a little bit of a chat, leave a video response if you want. If the content of this video interested you, and if you enjoy having a political debate every now and again, then please do like this video, subscribe to the channel so you can take part in the debates that we have in the future. Also, if you like, follow me on Twitter at JazzaJohn. I've been rhyming with oranges. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Now I go and I fight bear.